Damien Cave, our Australia Bureau Chief, shares insights on Australia, news of the world and feedback from readers in this weekly newsletter. Want to receive it by email? Sign up here. Journalism often relies on serendipity. Earlier this week, for example, I went out to Parramatta, one of Western Sydney's most vibrant and diverse areas, to talk to people about Australia Day. And within minutes of arriving, I saw a familiar face walking toward me, a gentle giant with a smile that makes you want to talk to him. He's one of the coaches of the Savannah Pride, the South Sudanese Australian basketball team I wrote about soon after arriving in Australia. His office, where he works on refugee resettlement, was just a block away. Things have been going really well, he said as we shook hands. Since the article was published, he said, more American scouts have been visiting, and support for the team has been rising. Shifting gears, I told him I was there to find out what new Australians, like him, thought about Australia Day. Is the holiday a benign celebration of national pride or a tone-deaf party that should be recast or moved from January 26th? Which is the anniversary of the 1788 arrival of British ships? Is it a day when people of all backgrounds are made to feel that they belong, or a day that celebrates colonization without regard for the colonized? His response was thoughtful and revealing. So were the responses of many others, from those who just arrived in Australia to those whose roots run deep. I was especially fascinated by the young Australians I met who, despite being proud holders of Australian citizenship, said they didn't feel it was their right to discuss such a contentious issue. Those thoughts will find their way into another article at some point, but for now, I figured I'd introduce all of you to Akuath, and a few of the other people I talked to. Our more complete roundup of voices and portraits, selected from scores of interviews, can be found here. As always, let us know what you think at nytaustralia@newyorktimes.com, and please share this newsletter, or better yet, tell friends to sign up. And don't forget to scroll down past the interviews for my roundup of New York Times articles that are must-reads this week, plus a recommendation for what might just be the darkest and most fascinating little show on Aussie Netflix, Akuath Call, a refugee resettlement coordinator. Originally from South Sudan, Taylor Vincent, a martial arts instructor, who is a member of the Wiradjuri clan, Hassam Farouk, a visitor seeking work, and a chance to move from Qatar to Australia. Max Fisher and Amanda Taub run the Interpreter newsletter, which all curious global-minded readers should subscribe to, and this week they kicked off a new series of video explainers. The first subject is democracy, that messy form of government once lionized and beloved, but now, well, it's fully stuck in the doldrums. To understand why, watch the video _____________. I covered open source technology early on in my career, and Stephen Johnson was the tech writer we all admired most. He makes complex matters clear better than anyone, so if you read only one article on Bitcoin this year, read his deeply reported exploration in the New York Times Magazine. It will teach you not just about cryptocurrency, but also about how the internet works and could work if the architecture of it returns to its democratic roots. Cheers, Australia. This week's coverage was dominated, of course, by tennis. From our writers on the scene in Melbourne, Rafael Nadal was sidelined by an injury. Hye-in Chung beat Tennis Sandgren to become the first South Korean man to reach the semifinals of a Grand Slam singles tournament, and the competition on the women's side continued to heat up. But we also have a sports story on cricket that you shouldn't miss, a deep look at race and the push to get more indigenous players to represent Australia in international competition. And here's my update on the latest news from Manus Island, and an Australia Diary entry from Brisbane about the dynamics of gender and work and just. Well, men. Send your telling anecdotes, or photos or artwork, about Australian life to neataustralia at newyorktimes.com_________________. Apple can't resist playing by China's rules. The company will be taking part in the suppression of freedoms abroad while espousing high-minded values at home. Sinking islands, floating nation, rising sea levels are forcing the country of Kiribati to make difficult choices. The Crown Prince and the new Saudi economy, Mohammed bin Salman, has to rule like a reformer if he wants to transform the kingdom into a Western-oriented market economy. The end of the world is the darkest, most oddly comic and perhaps most compelling portrait of messed up teenage life that I've seen since Donnie Darko. Each 20-minute episode is a tour through modernist architecture, British awkwardness, and the canyon between how teenagers talk to themselves and what they project out to the world. Watch it on Netflix. And here's our monthly Netflix guide to other things to watch if your taste runs counter to my own.